Welcome back. We're continuing the news. The Jamaica Independent Schools Association is calling for an amendment to the Education Act to allow for the government to provide more support to private schools. Javon Keys reports.
The COVID-19 pandemic has shown the need for more partnerships in the education sector, and private schools play a substantial role in the ecosystem. But as the hardships caused by the pandemic continue to rock these independent schools, the call for government assistance intensifies. The Education Act of 1980 governs the operation of the education system. It speaks to independent schools. The provision of assistance to these schools, however, is not mentioned. The Jamaica Independent Schools Association, JISA, says the very reality has hindered its request for assistance from the government. President of JISA, Dr. Faithlyn Wilson, says the act needs to be amended.
That Section 2 of the Education Act of 1965 does not allow the Ministry of Education, Youth and Information to transfer cash to private schools. And private schools have operated on this understanding for many, many years. No one could effectively plan for this pandemic that we've been experiencing.
JISA's National Parent Liaison Wesley Boynes says updates to the act would allow for institutions to benefit from government aid similar to other private sector groups.
We want equity. That is the same level of support and partnership in millions and millions of dollars which private tourism players receive. Players in sports, players in agriculture and other players in the private sector receive. They have no act in the way. We want the same level of partnership.
But until those amendments are made, Dr. Wilson says other acts can be used to provide support.
While the Education Act may not be able to facilitate some of the support that is required, it is clear that the Disaster Risk Management Act is more flexible. It is under the Disaster Risk Management Act that our schools have been prohibited from operating face-to-face.
JISA hopes some of these issues will be addressed at its Parents and Guardians National Conference, which will run from May 19. Javon Keys, TVJ News.